I just have to go ahead and say it. I cannot stand that we've normalized private until permanent in the Black community. Like, I hate it so very much. Like, I literally cannot stand it. And I didn't mean to start this video like red stark mad. And there's nothing that necessarily triggered this. I just have always hated it, I think, for a variety of reasons. I want to start by saying this. I am not religious. Please don't push religion on my channel. I am not religious. With that said, one of the main reasons I'm not religious is the impacts of patriarchy, but more so much of religion is self-serving to men. I'm gonna leave it at that. And I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything else. That's just how I personally feel. And I know I feel, and I look really excited right now, but one of the reasons I cannot stand it is because so much of private until permanent is so self-serving for men, and so much of it is rooted in purity culture for women. Women are scared to post about their partners and their multiple boyfriends and their dating experiences. And let's be clear, I'm talking about Black women, when those things should be celebrated and those things are very healthy, which I've made a couple videos about in this last 2 weeks. But the thing that really irritates me is that men get away with so much because of the concept of private until permanent or secret until permanent. One, men don't post on social media overall. It's normalized for men to not post on social media. And so men will literally, and I've seen this in real time, be in full-blown committed relationships, but act single online because they never post in general. And they also specifically have never communicated that they're in partnership with someone. And they know that. And they like the idea that girls will still shoot their shot and girls will still DM them and girls will still do those things. And I wouldn't say I'm one of those girls who do that, so let's not project onto me. But there have been times where I have like seen someone's social media profile and like, oh, he's really cute. I don't know what his status is. Like, I don't know if this person is single. I don't know if this person's in a relationship, and I would never know. But the thing, what I'm trying to communicate here is men get off on the fact that we would never know. They love it. They love it. And if you've ever watched any of my videos, you know how deeply adamant I am against purity culture. I think it's toxic. I think it's so self-interested and self-serving for men. I think it emotionally stunts women. I think it holds women back. I don't think it allows women, and again, when I say women, I'm specifically talking about us, Black women. It allows us to not experience the full agency that we are deserving of when we are trying to find our partner. I think it's incredibly toxic. We really should be dating like the 8x11s. And they're gonna ask, why are you so passionate about this? I don't know. It just really irritates me, and I just wanted to make a video about that. People are gonna DM this around and say you're crashing out. I'm not crashing out. I have a valid point. I just have to go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I'll start here. Man, she has some beautiful skin. It's glowing. Look really nice skin. I know that's not what the video was about, but skin was really nice. All right, I've got that out. It seems like there's this issue with men there. Like there's an elephant in the room. I'm not sure. I'm just going based off this video. She kept comparing like what women can do versus what men can do, what women can't get away with versus what men can get away with. And, you know, I don't mean any disrespect when I say this. That's kind of elementary in the sense of like comparing like, oh, see, they get to do it. Why can't I get to do it? Or they get to do it and that's not fair. Like, that's kind of elementary in the sense that there are differences between men and women. Like, yeah, I do believe we're more alike than different, but there are differences. God made us different, you know. And she says she's not religious. And she said that's partly because she feels like religion serves men and patriarchy. And unfortunately, I do think that there's a religion of men that is offensive, right? But when we're talking about biblical religion, pure and undefiled religion that it talks about in James at the latter part of chapter 1, there's this beautiful thing that, it's not misogynist. It's not about patriarchy. It's about the beauty of how God calls for us to live, and how he wants us to honor and treat each other, and how he wants us to help those who are oppressed and those who are afflicted, those who are in need. So, I just disagree with that. But again, she says she's not religious, so I can't imagine that she would have a biblical understanding of who Jesus is and how he calls for men to serve women and to serve our wives, and how to push the world forward, which also has a honorable way of doing life with women. So that's not something that she wants to hear. But I'm not doing this for her, but at the same time, I'm just sharing that. But what was really throwing me off is that she was saying that she don't like purity culture, and that women don't get free agency, when they're out here desiring to see a man. Now, y'all can tell me if I'm lying, but I do think women are doing a lot of the things that they want to do in terms of how they want to approach the dating space, how they want to approach marriage. Like, whether it works out for them in their favor is one thing, but from my experience, they are approaching things as they please. And I think what it sounds like is she wants women to be able to do things without consequences. And that's not reality. Men or women, when we do things, there are consequences. Whether they're good or consequences or bad, there are always consequences. So, I don't know, sis. The reality of it is you have free agency. People have free agency. But the outcome after what they do is not for them to determine. If somebody else wants to decide, like, nah, I'm not rocking with that, they can decide that. But it seems like there's an elephant in the room that she didn't articulate, and it seems like there's this issue with men. I don't know for sure, but it's just what it seems like. So when you have an issue with men and you don't know Jesus, and then you want free agency to date however you want to date, it sounds like, there's need for a greater understanding, more conversation, because if you don't have Jesus, if you don't learn of men, but yet you're still comparing yourself to men, that sounds like a disastrous, approach to life and perspective and or framework. And just honestly, it just sounds like, maybe there needs to be some healing, but at least more conversation for sure. And I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I'll make sure I put the link of the original video, the creator's video, in the description, so you can check that out on your own. But that's all I got to say about this video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stand on it, be strong.